ഇന്ന് എല്ലാവരും നമ്മൾ ആഘോഷിക്കാനായിട്ട് ഒത്തുകൂടിയിരിക്കുകയാണ്. എങ്കിലും ഇന്ന് നമ്മുടെ കൂടെ ഇല്ലാത്ത സിഇടിക്കും അതുപോലെ സമൂഹത്തിനും മഹത്തായ ഒരുപാട് സംഭാവനകൾ നൽകിയ പ്രഗത്ഭരായ സിഇടിയൻസ് എന്നേക്കുമായി നമ്മളെ വിട്ടുപോയിട്ടുണ്ട്. മുൻ പ്രിൻസിപ്പലും DTയുമായിരുന്ന ഡോക്ടർ PJ ജോർജ് സർ ഉൾപ്പെടെ ഒരുപാട് പേര് നമ്മളെ വിട്ടുപോയി. അവരുടെയൊക്കെ സംഭാവനകളെ നന്ദിയോടെ ഓർക്കാനും അവർക്ക് വേണ്ടി പ്രാർത്ഥിക്കാനും വേണ്ടി ഒരു മിനിറ്റ് എല്ലാവരും എഴുന്നേറ്റ് നിന്ന് ഒരു സൈലന്റ് പ്രെയറിൽ പങ്കുചേരണമെന്ന് അഭ്യർത്ഥിക്കുന്നു. അതിനുശേഷം നമ്മൾ കാര്യപരിപാടികൾ കണ്ടിന്യൂ ചെയ്യുന്നതായിരിക്കും. എല്ലാവരും ഒരു 1 മിനിറ്റ് സൈലന്റ് പ്രെയറിനായി എഴുന്നേറ്റ് നിൽക്കുക. Thank you. Coming up next would be an introductory video on our alma mater by Cetaa UAE chapter. നമുക്ക് എല്ലാവർക്കും മനസ്സിലൊരു സ്വപ്നവും ആഗ്രഹം ഉണ്ടാവുമല്ലോ, CET ഒരു 100 വർഷത്തിനുള്ളിൽ എങ്ങനെയായിരിക്കണം, എവിടെ എത്തി നിൽക്കണം എന്നൊക്കെ. ഇവിടെയുള്ള CETiansന്റെ സ്വപ്നമാണ് അടുത്തതായിട്ട് വീഡിയോയിൽ നിങ്ങൾ കാണാൻ പോകുന്നത്. ആ വീഡിയോ കണ്ടു കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് നമുക്ക് ബാക്കി സംസാരിക്കാം.
ജൂലൈ 3 കേരളത്തിന്റെ വിദ്യാഭ്യാസ ചരിത്രത്തിൽ സുവർണ ലിപികളിൽ ആലേഖനം ചെയ്യപ്പെട്ട തീയതി. തിരുവിതാംകൂറിലെ ആദ്യത്തെ എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് കോളേജ് പ്രവർത്തനം ആരംഭിച്ചത് അന്നാണ്. ശ്രീ ചിത്തിര തിരുനാൾ ബാലരാമവർമ്മ മഹാരാജാവിനാൽ സ്ഥാപിതമായ ഈ സാങ്കേതിക കലാലയത്തിന്റെ ആദ്യ പ്രവർത്തന കേന്ദ്രം അന്നത്തെ ചീഫ് എഞ്ചിനീയർ ഓഫീസ് പ്രവർത്തിച്ചിരുന്ന ബംഗ്ലാവായിരുന്നു. അതായത് പിൽക്കാലത്ത് പോസ്റ്റ് മാസ്റ്റർ ജനറലിന്റെ കാര്യാലയമായും ഇന്നത്തെ ശാസ്ത്ര സാങ്കേതിക മ്യൂസിയമായും പ്രവർത്തിക്കുന്ന കെട്ടിടം. CETയുടെ സംസ്ഥാപനത്തോടെ നാടിന്റെ പൊതുവായ സാങ്കേതിക പഠനത്തിന് തന്നെ സമാരംഭം കുറിക്കപ്പെട്ടു. സിവിൽ, മെക്കാനിക്കൽ, ഇലക്ട്രിക്കൽ എന്നീ 3 പഠന ശാഖകളുമായാണ് തിരുവനന്തപുരം എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് കോളേജ് പ്രവർത്തനം ആരംഭിച്ചത്. സ്ഥല സൗകര്യത്തിന്റെ പരിമിതികൾക്കിടയിലും സാമാന്യം നല്ല രീതിയിൽ പ്രവർത്തിച്ചു വന്ന കലാലയത്തിൽ തുടർന്നുള്ള വർഷങ്ങളിൽ ചില ബിരുദാനന്തര കോഴ്സുകൾ കൂടി ആരംഭിക്കപ്പെട്ടു. കൂടുതൽ ക്ലാസ് മുറികളുടെയും മികച്ച സൗകര്യങ്ങളുള്ള ലാബ്, ലൈബ്രറി എന്നിവയുടെയും വിശാലമായ ഒരു ക്യാമ്പസിന്റെയും ആവശ്യകത ഏറി വന്നതോടെ കലാലയം മറ്റൊരിടത്തേക്ക് മാറ്റി സ്ഥാപിക്കാൻ തീരുമാനിക്കപ്പെടുകയായിരുന്നു. അങ്ങനെയാണ് 22 വർഷങ്ങൾക്ക് ശേഷം 1961 ശ്രീകാര്യത്തിനും കുളത്തൂരിനുമിടയിൽ ഇന്ന് പ്രവർത്തിക്കുന്ന വിശാലവും മനോഹരവുമായ ക്യാമ്പസ് കോളേജിന് സ്വന്തമാകുന്നത്. പുതിയ ഇടത്തേക്ക് മാറിയതോടെ ഈ കലാലയത്തിന്റെ വളർച്ച ദ്രുതഗതിയിലായി. തുടർന്നുള്ള 2 പതിറ്റാണ്ടുകൾ CETയെ സംബന്ധിച്ചിടത്തോളം പുരോഗതിയുടെ വിസ്മയ വർഷങ്ങൾ തന്നെയായിരുന്നു. സുവർണ ജൂബിലി ആഘോഷവേളയിൽ വളർച്ചയുടെ 2ാം ഘട്ടം പിന്നിടുമ്പോൾ 5 അണ്ടർ ഗ്രാജുവേറ്റ് പ്രോഗ്രാമുകളും 4 പോസ്റ്റ് ഗ്രാജുവേറ്റ് പ്രോഗ്രാമുകളും കലാലയത്തിൽ പുതുതായി ആരംഭിച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞിരുന്നു. ഇതിനകം തന്നെ കേരളത്തിലെ ഏറ്റവും വിപുലമായ സാങ്കേതിക പഠന ലൈബ്രറി ഉൾപ്പെടെ നിരവധി ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റുകൾക്ക് വേണ്ടിയുള്ള പുതിയ കെട്ടിടങ്ങളും നിർമ്മിക്കപ്പെട്ടു. സുവർണ ജൂബിലിക്ക് ശേഷമുള്ള 3ാം ഘട്ടത്തിൽ അത്ഭുതപൂർവമായ ഒരു കുതിച്ചുകയറ്റത്തിനാണ് കലാലയം സാക്ഷ്യം വഹിച്ചത്. പുതുതായി നിരവധി കെട്ടിടങ്ങൾ നിർമ്മിക്കപ്പെടുകയും ഒട്ടനവധി പോസ്റ്റ് ഗ്രാജുവേറ്റ് PhD പ്രോഗ്രാമുകൾക്ക് ആരംഭം കുറിക്കുകയും ചെയ്തു. ഉന്നത അധ്യാപന നിലവാരം കാത്തുസൂക്ഷിക്കുക വഴി ഇന്ത്യയിലെ തന്നെ മികച്ച കോളേജുകളിലൊന്നായി CET വളർന്നു. വിദ്യാർത്ഥികളിലെ കഴിവുകൾ കണ്ടറിഞ്ഞ് അവ പരിപോഷിപ്പിക്കുന്നതിനുള്ള അവസരങ്ങൾ ഒരുക്കുന്നതിനൊപ്പം തന്നെ മിടുക്കരായ പഠിതാക്കൾക്ക് പിന്തുണ നൽകുന്നതിലേക്കായുള്ള സഹായ പദ്ധതികൾ കണ്ടെത്തുകയും ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്. ഇന്ന് ഈ 82-ാം വയസ്സിന്റെ പ്രൗഢിയിൽ നിന്നുകൊണ്ട് പിന്തിരിഞ്ഞു നോക്കുമ്പോൾ ഈ മഹാവിദ്യാകേന്ദ്രത്തിന് അഭിമാനിക്കാൻ ചരിത്ര മുഹൂർത്തങ്ങൾ നിരവധിയാണ്. 8 മേഖലകളിലെ അണ്ടർ ഗ്രാജുവേറ്റ് പ്രോഗ്രാമുകൾക്കൊപ്പം MBAയും MCAയും ഉൾപ്പെടെ നിരവധി PhD പ്രോഗ്രാമുകളുമായി സമ്പന്നമാണ് ഇന്ന് CETയുടെ പ്രവർത്തന മണ്ഡലം. 6000-ഓളം വിദ്യാർത്ഥികളെയും 600-ലധികം വരുന്ന അധ്യാപകേതര ജീവനക്കാരെയും ഉൾക്കൊള്ളുന്ന ഈ കലാലയം വർഷം തോറും 1000-ലധികം എഞ്ചിനീയർമാർക്ക് ജന്മം നൽകുന്ന അമ്മയാണ്. സാങ്കേതിക തികവിനൊപ്പം സാമൂഹ്യ പ്രതിബദ്ധതയും കർത്തവ്യബോധവും കൈമുതലായുള്ള സേവന സന്നദ്ധരായ ഒരു സമൂഹത്തെയാണ് തിരുവനന്തപുരം എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് കോളേജ് രാജ്യത്തിന് സമ്മാനിച്ചുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നത്. 8 ദശകങ്ങളുടെ പ്രവർത്തന പാരമ്പര്യവുമായി തലയുയർത്തി നിൽക്കുന്ന ഈ കലാലയ മഹതിക്ക് ഈ കാലയളവിനുള്ളിൽ നിരവധി മഹാരഥന്മാർക്ക് ജന്മമേകാൻ കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ട്. വിജയസോപാനങ്ങൾ ഓരോന്നായി ചവിട്ടിക്കേറി മുന്നേറുന്ന CETയുടെ വളർച്ചയിൽ ലോകമെമ്പാടുമുള്ള 47,000-ലധികം വരുന്ന മക്കൾ അഭിമാനം കൊള്ളുന്നു. ഒപ്പം ജീവിതത്തിന്റെ ഔന്നത്യങ്ങളിൽ എത്തിച്ചേരാൻ വേണ്ട വെള്ളവും വളവുമേകിയതിന് ഈ പോറ്റമ്മയ്ക്കുള്ള നന്ദി വാക്കുകളാൽ അവരുടെ മനസ്സുകൾ കൃതജ്ഞതാ നിർഭരമാകുകയും ചെയ്യുന്നു. 100-ാം വയസ്സിലേക്ക് അടുത്തുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്ന വേളയിലും നിത്യ യൗവനയുക്തിയായ ഈ കലാലയ ജനനിക്ക് ഇനിയും സ്വപ്നങ്ങൾ ഏറെയാണ്. പഞ്ചനക്ഷത്ര പരിവേഷമുള്ള കെട്ടിടങ്ങളും ക്യാമ്പസും, അത്യാധുനിക സാങ്കേതിക സൗകര്യങ്ങളോടുകൂടിയ ക്ലാസ് മുറികൾ, ആധുനിക സജ്ജീകരണങ്ങളുള്ള ചുറ്റുപാടുകൾ, മികച്ച സൗകര്യങ്ങളോടുകൂടിയ സ്റ്റുഡന്റ് ഹോസ്റ്റലുകളും സ്റ്റാഫ് ക്വാർട്ടേഴ്സുകളും, മനോഹരമായി ലാൻഡ്സ്കേപ്പിംഗ് ചെയ്യപ്പെട്ട ഉദ്യാനങ്ങൾ, ഇവയൊക്കെ ചേർന്ന അത്യാകർഷകമായ ഒരു ക്യാമ്പസാണ് ആ സ്വപ്നങ്ങളിൽ പ്രധാനമായും തെളിഞ്ഞു മിന്നുന്നത്. പുറം കാഴ്ചയിലുള്ള ഇത്തരം സൗകര്യങ്ങൾക്ക് പുറമെ അക്കാദമിക തലത്തിലും വൻ മുന്നേറ്റങ്ങൾ നടത്തുന്നതിന് കലാലയം ലക്ഷ്യമിടുന്നുണ്ട്. നിർമ്മിത ബുദ്ധിയുടെ മികച്ച ഉപയോഗം, ചൊവ്വാ ദൗത്യത്തിൽ നിർമ്മാണ രൂപകൽപ്പന പങ്കാളിത്തം എന്നിങ്ങനെയൊക്കെ മികച്ച ഉന്നത സങ്കല്പങ്ങളാണ് CETയുടെ ഭാവി ആസൂത്രണ രേഖയിലുള്ളത്. ഉയർന്ന ചിന്തയും കൃത്യമായ ആസൂത്രണവും കഠിനാധ്വാനവും ഒത്തുചേരുമ്പോൾ ഏതൊരു സ്വപ്നവും കൈപ്പിടിയിലൊതുങ്ങും. അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ CETയെ സംബന്ധിച്ചിടത്തോളം മേൽപ്പറഞ്ഞവയൊന്നും വെറും സങ്കല്പങ്ങളല്ല, അനധിവിദൂര ഭാവിയിൽ സംഭവിക്കാനിരിക്കുന്ന യാഥാർത്ഥ്യങ്ങളാണ്. ആ യാഥാർത്ഥ്യങ്ങളിലേക്ക് എത്തിച്ചേരാൻ ഈ കലാലയത്തിന് എല്ലാ പിന്തുണയുമായി ധിഷണാശാലികളായ മക്കളുമുണ്ട്. കേരള സാങ്കേതിക വിദ്യാഭ്യാസത്തിന് മുതൽക്കൂട്ടായി പരിലസിക്കുന്ന തിരുവനന്തപുരം എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് കോളേജിന് വളർച്ചയുടെ പന്ഥാവിൽ എല്ലാവിധ ഭാവുകങ്ങളും നേരുന്നു.
എങ്ങനെയുണ്ട്? ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു കിനാശ്ശേരി അഥവാ CET ആണ് ഇവിടെയുള്ളവർ സ്വപ്നം കാണുന്നത്. ഫ്യൂച്ചറിസ്റ്റിക് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു നാട്ടിലിരുന്നുകൊണ്ട് സ്വപ്നം കാണുമ്പോൾ ഇങ്ങനെയൊക്കെ ചിലപ്പോൾ കണ്ടെന്നിരിക്കും. അത് സ്വാഭാവികമാണ്. 150 രൂപയ്ക്ക് 2 ബെഡ്റൂം, ഒരു പൂജാമുറി, കാറ് കയറ്റിയിടാനുള്ള സ്ഥലം. അംബീഷ്യസ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ദാസനും വിജയനും തന്നെയാണ് ഇവിടെയുള്ള എല്ലാവരുടെയും ഇൻസ്പിറേഷൻ. വിത്ത് ദാറ്റ്, Cetaa UAE chapter warmly welcomes you once again to the official inaugural ceremony of the first ever digital global meet of 2021. Let me now invite Mr. Jairaj J, General Secretary Cetaa UAE, to deliver the welcome address.
In 1868, the Tata Group was founded on a philosophy that put the community at the heart of its existence. Today, we are $100 billion global enterprise. Our today has been built on enduring values. Our today is about delivering excellence across business sectors. about building a future-ready nation. Our today has a strong foundation with community at its core. Our today is dedicated to the communities we serve. Our today is always about more than just a day. Our today is a continuous journey for a better tomorrow. Tata, leadership with trust.
Hi. Hi, good evening, everyone, and good morning to those in the other time zone, distinguished guests, and dear Cetians. I feel deeply honored as well as very privileged to welcome you all on behalf of Cetaa UAE to the first ever Cetaa Galaxy Digital Global Meet. We wish to take you all back down the memory lane 11 years ago when Cetaa UAE successfully organized the first ever global meet on January 2010 at Dubai, which was a great platform to connect with the Cetians around the globe. As you all know, the entire world is passing through very tough, trying times. Many Cetians and their family members are affected by the pandemic and its adverse effects on the economy. We believe expressing solidarity and conveying the message of togetherness among the Cetaa family around the globe is something of utmost importance. To reconnect with our college mates and friends in this time of crisis, we thought of exploring the possibilities of the digital media and arrived at the idea of organizing this event. Now, coming back to the responsibility assigned to me, on behalf of Cetaa UAE, let me welcome our guest. Our chief guest for the digital meet is an eminent personality who needs no introduction to us. He is an acclaimed writer, having authored 19 best-selling works of fiction and non-fiction since 1981. During his nearly 3-decade-long prior career at the United Nations, he served as a peacekeeper, refugee worker, and administrator at the highest levels, serving as Under-Secretary General. A renowned politician, currently third-term Lok Sabha MP, representing the Thiruvananthapuram constituency, he has previously served as Minister of State for HRD and Minister of State for External Affairs in the Government of India. He is none other than the charismatic Dr. Shashi Tharoor. He is joining us from New Delhi. Welcome you, sir, to Cetaa Galaxy Digital Global Meet. Now let me welcome the guest of honor, the man who is known among us for his vision, wisdom, and his knowledge, our honorable principal, Dr. C.V. Gigi. Before joining CET in 1991, he served as engineer at Institute for Plasma Research at Gujarat in 1989 and electronics officer at National Airports Authority during 89-91. He was the visiting researcher at University of Trento, Italy in 2006. Sir, you have motivated students by being a living example, by sharing your expertise and knowledge, and leading CET to greater heights. He is joining us from College of Engineering, Trivandrum. Welcome you to Cetaa Galaxy Digital Global Meet. Let me now welcome Cetaa Parent Body Secretary, Dr. Jayasri PK, Cetaa chapter executives and officials from around the globe, the program participants, and our valued sponsors to this event. Last but not the least, I heartily welcome the Cetaa fraternity and family members around the globe to this first ever digital global meet. Thank you all.
Let me now invite to the auspicious ceremony of lighting the lamp. Being a digital be happening at two places simultaneously. One of course from our beloved college. And another lighting ceremony would be happening simultaneously in Dubai. Let me now have the privilege of inviting my beloved teacher, Dr. Gigi CV, Principal, College of Engineering, Trivandrum, Dr. Jayasri, General Secretary, Cetaa General Body, and other Cetaa officials from Trivandrum to honor the occasion by lighting the lamp. I would also like to invite Cetaa UAE officials to solemnize the occasion by lighting the lamp from Dubai.
Respected Gurus, Dr. Shashi Tharoor MP, Honorable Principal Dr. Gigi CV, officials of Cetaa Parent Body, representatives of various chapters, dear friends, students, and teachers. Once again, welcome to the first ever Cetaa Digital Global Meet, named as Cetaa Galaxy Digital Global Meet 2021. നിങ്ങൾക്കെല്ലാം അറിയാവുന്നതുപോലെ 2010 ദ ഫസ്റ്റ് ഗ്ലോബൽ മീറ്റ് ആദ്യമായി Cetaa UAE ആണ് ആ പ്രോഗ്രാം നടത്തിയത്. അതിനെ തുടർന്ന് 2 വർഷത്തിലൊരിക്കൽ 2010 ശേഷം 2012 ബാംഗ്ലൂരിൽ, 2014 തിരുവനന്തപുരത്ത്, 2016 കൊച്ചിയിൽ, 2018 വാഷിങ്ടൺ DC-യിലും കാലിഫോർണിയയിലും നമ്മൾ ഒത്തുകൂടി. 2020 സിംഗപ്പൂരിൽ, 2020 ഓഗസ്റ്റ് 16 നമ്മൾ സിംഗപ്പൂരിൽ ഒത്തുകൂടേണ്ടതായിരുന്നു. പക്ഷേ ഈ ഗ്ലോബൽ പാൻഡമിക് വന്നതുകൊണ്ട് നമുക്ക് അവിടെ ഒന്നിച്ചു കൂടാൻ കഴിഞ്ഞില്ല. ഓരോ ഗ്ലോബൽ മീറ്റും നമ്മൾ തുടക്കം മുതൽ മുന്നോട്ട് പോയത്, it was all based on a theme. The first global meet was organized with a theme, Kerala, Tomorrow and Beyond. As many of you are aware, the byproducts of the first global meets are GEMS and HOPE. GEMS is Growing Engineers Monetary Fund. HOPE, Helping Outstanding People in Education. ഞങ്ങൾ 2010 ഗ്ലോബൽ മീറ്റിനെ പറ്റി ആലോചിക്കുമ്പോൾ Dr. J. Leda was the principal of College of Engineering, Trivandrum, and Dr. Kuncharia P. Isaac was the director of technical education. Both of them traveled all the way from Trivandrum to UAE to participate in our program. And Dr. Kuncharia P. Isaac presented GEMS in detail. GEMS-ന്റെ ഭാഗമായി നമ്മൾ ഇപ്പോൾ we are supporting around, Cetaa is supporting around 100 students, 100 underprivileged and financially challenged students of CET. The next byproduct of first global meet was HOPE, that is Helping Outstanding Peoples in Education, which is an empowerment program for financially challenged, bright school children. We started in a small way with 16 students from around the schools of CET. As of now, we are proud to announce that we are supporting more than 1,000 students under HOPE, of which 36 students are from CET. Many of them cracked entrance examinations and are studying for MBBS, BTech, and so many other courses. 2014 Bangalore Global Meet was based on a theme, Sustainable Development. അങ്ങനെ ഓരോ ഗ്ലോബൽ മീറ്റും വളരെ സോഷ്യലി കമ്മിറ്റഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള, സാമൂഹ്യ പ്രതിബദ്ധതയുള്ള നിരവധി തീം മുന്നോട്ട് വെച്ചുകൊണ്ടാണ് ഓരോ ഗ്ലോബൽ മീറ്റും നടത്തിയത്. 2021, when we are launching the first ever digital global meet, the theme is Giving Back to the Alma Mater. I take this opportunity to appreciate the present leadership of CET, Dr. Gigi CV, Dr. Jayasri PK, Dr. Jisha, other executive committee members, for reaching out to the alumni group across the globe, connecting them to CET and connecting them to the CET students. I'm sure all the alumni members across the globe will be very happy to get connected to their alma mater, and they will be privileged to give back to the alma mater. ഒരുപാട് പ്രോഗ്രാമുകൾ, ഒരുപാട് ആക്ടിവിറ്റീസ് സീറ്റയുടെ നേതൃത്വത്തിൽ, CETians-ന്റെ നേതൃത്വത്തിൽ ഇതിനോടകം തന്നെ CET-യിലെ സ്റ്റുഡൻസിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് ആരംഭിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഞാൻ അതിൻ്റെ ഡീറ്റെയിൽസിലേക്കൊന്നും ഇപ്പോൾ പോകുന്നില്ല. So let us come together, let us join together, let us give back to the alma mater, let us pool in our resources, let us pool in our experience and expertise and give back to the society. Let us make CET the #1 institute in India. Thank you.
Thank you, Satish. I have been eagerly looking forward to the next session. Personally, after passing out from college, I didn't get much of a chance to meet or interact with my teachers. And now, Digital Global Meet of 2021 has blessed me with the unique opportunity of the privilege of inviting my beloved teacher, Dr. Gigi CV, Principal of College of Engineering, Trivandrum, onto the dais to deliver the keynote address.
Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. Shashi Tharoor MP, officials of Cetaa UAE chapter, Cetaa Executive Committee members, dear CETians and family members, faculty members, and my dear students. Good day to all of you. At the onset, I would like to congratulate the Cetaa UAE chapter for organizing the first ever virtual global meet, the Cetaa Galaxy Digital Global Meet 2021. As we all know, College of Engineering Trivandrum, established in the year 1939, has completed 81 glorious years. The institution has been imparting quality engineering education to students over these years, resulting in more than 47,000 alumni shining in various professions across the globe, which includes eminent engineers, great scientists, renowned academicians, top bureaucrats, industrialists, and entrepreneurs. College of Engineering Trivandrum had a humble beginning with 3 engineering branches, namely civil, mechanical, and electrical engineering, and 18 students in each branch. Over these years, CET has been elevated to one of the top engineering institutions of the country, and currently CET offers 7 BTech programs, 27 different MTech specializations, BArch, MArch, MCA, MBA, and doctorate programs, comprising of 4,500 students, 300 faculty members, and 250 non-teaching staff. For further enhancement of institutional success, we are moving forward with our vision of national level excellence and international visibility in every facet of engineering, research, and education. It's really encouraging that this year, in the National Institutional Ranking Framework called NIRF, established by Government of India, which measures the national level excellence of academic institutions and universities, we accomplished 85th rank in the engineering category and 11th rank in the architecture category in the national level. It may be noted that more than 1,000 engineering institutions of our country, including IITs, NITs, and other reputed national and state level private and government institutions, participated in this ranking process. We could achieve this because of our excellent teaching learning resources, better academic performance of our students, and their campus placements. It must be noted that IIT Chennai, the one which topped in the NIRF ranking, incurs an annual expenditure of nearly rupees 700 crores. But our annual expenditure is less than 100 crores and fully funded by Government of Kerala. IIT Chennai has more than 2,000 PhD students, but we have only 200 regular PhD students in the campus. And please note that in the ranking process, 40% of weightage is for research-related activities and the resulting outcomes. In the coming years, we aim to achieve a higher position to be in the first 25 in national level, utilizing our excellent infrastructure, empowering our faculty and meritorious students, and leveraging the services of our alumni. At this juncture, I would like to quote the words of our Honorable Finance Minister, Dr. Thomas Isaac, who presented the annual budget in the Assembly yesterday. He said that our next aim is to transform higher education in line with our achievements in school education over the last 5 years. A number of different indicators are now available globally for measuring the standard of higher education. The most prominent among them is a ranking of global universities published by Times Higher Education. Only one university from Kerala figures in the list, and the ranking for this is between 600 to 800 range. Another prominent ranking is by the Shanghai Ranking Consultancy, which ranks 4,000 universities across 54 subjects. Not even one university from Kerala finds a place in these 54 subjects. Investment, many times higher than the present one, is inevitable in higher education. He continued that, similarly, the approach to teaching and research needs a paradigm shift. Both are not easy. We ought to move towards this goal with resolve. Else, the developmental strategy presented in this budget will remain a mirage. Dear friends, When it comes to technical education, the forerunner in fulfilling this dream can be none other than College of Engineering, Trivandrum. Hence, in the coming years, CET is to be transformed into a top-tier research and learning institution with state-of-the-art facilities for research and learning and campus infrastructure. To achieve this goal, it's essential for us to improve our research output in terms of innovative student projects, quality publications, patents, and other intellectual property rights by acquiring a lot of sponsored research projects and developing good industry linkages. In this regard, our alumni can play a major role. I am extremely happy to share with you that our various alumni groups have initiated many programs towards this goal, working jointly with our faculty members and students for better institutional ranking and to improve the visibility of the institution. The greatest treasure an institution cherishes and rely upon is its alumni. College of Engineering Trivandrum Alumni Association, Cetaa, was initiated in the year 1976. Our alumni, who are always committed to the institution and its students, have been the strength of the CET family. They ensure support to deserving students who require financial assistance through the growing Engineers Monetary Supports Scheme called GEMS, which is a major outcome of the Cetaa Global Meet held at Dubai in 2010, as Mr. Sadish already mentioned. I sincerely acknowledge the crucial role of our UAE chapter in materializing this project. In the past 10 years, Cetaa has provided GEM scholarship to 300 students, each student given rupees 10,000 per year. I would like to appreciate the great initiative, the Cetaa Hope project, implemented by the UAE chapter, under which they support several college and professional students, including CETians, financially and also for the personal empowerment of the students. Cetaa has also inducted several awards and endowments for meritorious students excelling in both academics and extracurricular activities. Cetaa has also immensely contributed towards the various infrastructure development projects in the college campus. As all of you are aware, due to the pandemic COVID-19, education in all institutions across the world has transitioned to online mode, requiring a laptop or a mobile device for each student. I'm very happy to share with you that our alumni, realizing the need of the hour, came forward to donate 250 laptops for our deserving students with a budget of nearly 75 lakhs. I take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you who contributed for this noble cause. Apart from providing financial support, our alumni now are being directly involved in devising and conducting various programs to enhance the skills of our students for their better employability. My dear friends, you people are really giving back to the alma mater and serving the society in a way expected out of a real engineer. You are good examples for all of us, and as a principal of CET, I am really proud of you, my dear friends. You are the real ambassadors of CET, and it is through the proud achievements of thousands of CETians like you that we could establish the globally reputed CET branch. Thus, the continued support of our alumni for your alma mater with your time, talent, and funds is most appreciated. I once again congratulate the organizers of today's Digital Global Meet. Over the years, we have noticed that each global meet brings outcomes to meet the vision of CET. I hope Global Meet 2021 will also generate some important outcomes. This year, we are planning to make our campus vibrant and physically thriving through a campus beautification initiative that will enhance and contribute to the visual appeal of our campus. And I feel our alumni can play a prominent role in this initiative of preserving beauty of our campus for generations to come. I sincerely acknowledge the great support imparted by our alumni for the development of the institution, not only in the form of financial support, but also for sharing their technical knowledge and experience with our students. I take this opportunity to request all alumni to actively participate in all the activities of Cetaa and contribute for the welfare of the institution. We shall put hands together to enhance our excellence and visibility in national and international level for augmenting the brand value of CET. Wishing a wonderful day with memorable events. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Excited
would be an understatement
to describe,
to
my
state of mind right now
while
while
introducing
introducing a
a guest of the
guest
occasion.
of the occasion.
Well, he needs
Well,
no
he needs no
introduction, but
introduction,
I
but I am
delighted
delighted and
and
honored to
one.
give him one.
A man
A man who
adorned
adorned multiple titles,
a master,
a master of
multiple
multiple trades.
Well,
With his
and
and
acting
skills,
could
could have been a
celebrated
celebrated Bollywood actor.
For that matter,
I have heard that he once
did beat Rishi Kapoor back in the day.
back in the day.
Or even a
Hollywood actor for that matter. He shrugged off
a chance for
audition
back in the day.
back in the day.
But rather,
rather-
to choose the most arduous path of an honest politician. A cool one, of course, with highest number of Twitter followers when the word Twitter was alien to most of other Indian politicians. An accomplished author who could give dictionary a competition, even to the extent that once he did a stand-up comedy act on millennial lingo and nailed it. An eloquent speaker who did make the Brits accept the fact that they owe an apology and reparations to us. A writer who did paint a deeper, clearer picture of Indian history to all of us Indians. And as a fun fact, this being an alumni meet, I think, or rather I assume that our guest of the occasion would be eligible for having the most number of alumni memberships than all of us, considering his academic trail. An award-winning author, former international civil servant for nearly 3 decades, third-term Lok Sabha MP representing Thiruvananthapuram constituency, chairman of Parliamentary Standing Committee for Information Technology, former Minister of State for Human Resource Development and External Affairs. Ladies and gentlemen, let me have the privilege of welcoming the chief guest of the occasion, the hero of our times, the one and only Dr. Shashi Tharoor.
Thank you very much, and I'm just delighted to be introduced in such lavish terms. Thank you. My greetings, of course, to all of you. Mr. Satish Kumar, the chairman of the CETAA Galaxy Digital Meet 2021. Dr. Gigi CV, who made such a fine speech that I heard, the principal of CET. Mr. Jairaj, general secretary of CETAA UAE, and all of you. I won't waste your time in telling you who you are, but I'm just very pleased to be with you all today. The first CETAA Galaxy Digital Global Meet, I gather, though I seem to remember addressing a global meet of CET alums on a previous occasion, maybe about 10 years ago, and maybe also in Dubai, but perhaps I'm mixing it up, but maybe this is the first one, in any case, that's being done virtually and digitally. So let me thank you all for this opportunity to interact with this large gathering of CETians. As the Member of Parliament for Thiruvananthapuram, it's always a matter of considerable pride for me that our city is home to institutes of such eminence and prestige. The College of Engineering Trivandrum, since its founding in 1939, has become one of our nation's most coveted centers for an engineering education. You know, many of you may not know this, but the initial intake at CET was just 21 students in the entire college. It's a matter of pride to see the rapid manner in which the college has grown over the years and can now boast of 8 full-fledged departments, offering 8 undergraduate, 27 postgraduate and doctoral programs under the APJ Abdul Kalam Technological University. Together, your college's strength from that initial 21 has grown manifold and today stands at 4,500 students, 311 teaching staff, and 290 non-teaching staff. And I think it's a tribute to CET that the teaching staff outnumbers the non-teaching staff. What the military like to call the teeth to tail ratio is very good. But these numbers, important as they are only one half of the story. One can, in many ways, always tell the pedigree of a college by looking at how energetic and active their alumni associations are. After all, we all spend our most important and formative years in college. And it's a testament to the value of the education, the experience, the memories the college has left us with, that we then want to get involved with our fellow alums. And when you see a large alumni association like CETAA, I think this conclave in many ways reflects how fondly all of you think of your times spent at CET, both within the classroom and outside on the campus, the courses you've learned, the extracurricular activities you pursued, and of course, the friends you made, as well as the wonderful teaching staff and non-teaching staff who helped shape your minds at that crucial time, and I'm sure also influence the path that you have all taken after your education. I'm told that today CETAA, which was formally consolidated under this banner in 1976, has now grown to 47,000 members across the globe and has been actively supporting the growth of your alma mater through scholarships for needy and meritorious students, to also coming up with the Growing Engineers Monetary Support Scheme, the Continuous Assistance for Rising Engineers, or CARE. The Growing Engineers Monetary Support has this lovely acronym of GEMS. The Continuous Assistance for Rising Engineers is called CARE, and the Helping Outstanding Pupils in Education, HOPE. All these schemes, I think, are absolutely wonderful. And it's a tribute to you that you have done well because of your education. You have fond memories you wish to give back. What a wonderful tribute this is to all of you and to CET. And I must say, I have addressed CET gatherings definitely in Qatar, in Dubai, and I think in Sharjah. So I know that CET alums have an international presence as well as a national one. And I have no doubt in my mind that your extraordinary accomplishments are the best possible advertisement for CET, what it has taught you and what it continues to offer to future generations of students. I'm also pleased that you have been supporting the college by offering young students practical experience through interactions with industry leaders, finishing programs, workshops with top corporate leaders, and so on. This is of crucial importance. In fact, when I was Minister for Education, for HRD as it used to be called, back now a dozen years ago, I had inherited a catechism in the ministry that spoke of the 3 E's being expansion, equity, and excellence. Expansion and equity we had done well in. Excellence, in my own view, was somewhat more uneven. But I added a 4th E to the catechism, that was employability. I think that while CET can undoubtedly claim its credentials at the very top of the first 3 E's, the reality is that our engineering graduates continue to face challenges with regard to the final E of employability. You know that employers associations like FICCI, CII, ASSOCHAM, and others have all conducted studies that have established widespread and high levels of dissatisfaction by employers with the quality of graduates available for employment. I've spoken to CEOs who feel that once you get beyond the top institutions, the graduates they hire from the rest need a year's remedial education. This is why Infosys has built a campus in Mysore, TCS one in Thiruvananthapuram. These are not on-the-job training. This is actually making up for what students should have learned in college. Companies are entering the education space in all but name. And the irony is compounded by other factors. I'm sorry I don't mean to be throwing cold water on our enthusiasm for engineering, but as reflective engineers, I know you'll want to be conscious of this. You know perhaps that 66% of all engineering graduates in our country, and we have 500,000 graduates every year, 5 lakh graduates every single year, 66% of them, unfortunately or otherwise, end up in jobs that do not require an engineering degree. And why is that? Because the engineering degree is either inadequate in terms of their preparation or irrelevant in terms of being updated with contemporary engineering needs and practices, or simply not at all needed for the kind of work that is available. So the oversupply of engineers is something that worries me. Yes, one problem is that overqualified engineers are hired for jobs that do not require graduate degrees. You could argue this is an Indian problem generally, because way back in 2016, for example, the Madhya Pradesh Police Department advertised 14,000 constable posts that required just an 8th grade pass. 9 lakh candidates applied for these 14,000 jobs, and among them were nearly 10,000 engineering graduates, plus a dozen PhD holders, 1,90,000 other graduates, and 15,000 postgraduates. In other words, we are releasing graduates, particularly engineering graduates, into an ecosystem that does not know how to use them. We have talent, but we don't seem to know what to do with it. And therefore, not even counting those engineers who get no jobs at all, and whom the Prime Minister sadly has been encouraging to fry pakoras on the sidewalk, we have to understand that there is a genuine challenge between, on the one hand, the needs of the marketplace, the way in which engineers are prepared to meet those needs, the quality of the education, and the level of relevance. So these are important challenges that I mentioned. All of you are successful alums. You have not experienced these challenges, or you overcome them. But it's important for you to be conscious that very many others, perhaps not from CET Trivandrum, but elsewhere in the country and elsewhere in engineering, are suffering greatly. And that's why your programs like GEMS and CARE and HOPE are all the more necessary. Now, this systematic problem of skill mismatch between qualifications and jobs undertaken should not be underestimated. The skill mismatch situation has seen marked improvement in certain sectors over time. Research has identified the closing of this quality skill gap in high graduate intensity occupations. And that normally includes engineering, advocates, medical legal professionals, high technology service industries like telecoms and IT and ICT enabled services. All of this, one can argue, is a positive outcome of targeted policy responses to the demand from these sectors over the past decades. The market has in many ways led the way, and policymakers must be increasingly cognizant of market demands during policy formulation. And that's why I think we simply cannot afford to overlook the needs of the marketplace. I'm not saying that education should only lead to employment, but obviously the problem is that most people who go through an education, particularly an expensive education, they need employment, and they need employment in a field which they feel their education has prepared them for. I do want to say, though, that in encouraging more and more industry and academia interactions, we would do well so that universities and colleges like CET can increasingly meet the needs of the modern marketplace. When I was in the ministry, we invited Mr. Narayana Murthy to do a study on this. He wrote an excellent report on industry academia interactions. You know that, for example, in the US, it's entirely common practice for private companies to come to engineering colleges, to IT institutions like our IITs, and tell them, here's an idea we have, here's a particular problem, we don't have enough staff to research it or work out its practical feasibility. If you have graduate students, doctoral students who are equipped to do this work, we will give you the seed money to finance their work. If they can develop a product, we'll share the royalties with you. Now, that kind of exercise is routine in Silicon Valley, routine in the Raleigh-Durham Triangle in North Carolina, and in many other parts of the US, but it's practically unknown in India. We need to change that approach. Now, at the same time, I would argue that an institution like CET must continue contributing towards the goal of making India a knowledge society. While we address these existing problems, we must also take care not to forget that our vision for the 21st century must be to take India beyond its current limitations into the role of a knowledge society. Is that music a hint that I should shut up? I'll quickly wrap up. A society capable of both creating theoretical knowledge and of materially benefiting from it. I'm sorry, do you want me to cease? Okay, I'll continue very briefly, 2 minutes more, if the musician could wait. A society where the pursuit of learning and innovation should not be constrained by any lack of access, infrastructure, or support, where education is relevant to society and provides the skills and competencies that society demands. So this is where I believe alumni associations like CETAA have an important role to play in this dream of creating a knowledge society, one that is committed to excellence as an end in itself, not just creating a knowledge economy. I think we need, and Trivandrum in particular as MP, I'm proud of the fact that we're developing, sometimes despite our politics, a knowledge ecosystem with more and more high quality research institutions. CET is there, there's the Rajiv Gandhi Center for Biotechnology, there's now ISA that has come up in Vithura. We have so many other top quality knowledge institutions. I'm trying to, and Sri Chitra Tirunal Institute in the medical field, if we can create an ecosystem of knowledge, we will go a long way towards setting an example for the making of a knowledge society. In Kerala, after all, we come from its capital. Kerala is an ideal institution, an ideal state to actually reflect and embody this. You can all help in developing a strong culture of research and innovation at CET, which is a very important driver to ensure technological and technical leadership. And that will ultimately translate into the growth of a strong, robust, and self-sufficient economy and society. If you look around the world today, it very clearly proves that investments in long-term research have a very direct impact on that nation's continued future success, not just intellectually, but also materially. Long-term economic growth depends ultimately on innovation and invention. There's a strong correlation between innovation and productivity. It's therefore of critical importance for academia and industry, and you are all in industry today, or most of you must be as alumni, to participate and focus on interaction with CET and other engineering colleges to focus on research and innovation for growth. I really look forward to a future for our country where we will reclaim our rich heritage as a country that is capable of being a hub for educational and innovative excellence. We can become not only a leader in global technologies, but also in adapting these technologies to humanitarian applications and for the promotion of the welfare of our people. Indian students schooled in our own context, and CET alums are a great example, will promote innovations that not only better the lot of their own compatriots, but do so really across the world and particularly across the developing world. India must be a thought leader in this field, but we must also be, as CET I'm sure has imparted to you, leaders with a heart that understands the purpose of our engineering, the purpose of our innovation is to improve the quality of life of human beings across the globe. I would argue that education in India has always dedicated itself to this kind of human improvement since the days of yore, when scholars from across the world came to visit Nalanda and Takshashila and Vikramshila, not merely to learn from the wisdom of India, but often to serve at various charitable institutions like hospitals and the like, ashrams and so on, that these great institutions maintain. That's the spirit we must return to. Let us perform social service through excellence in engineering. That is a challenge for all of you at CETAA and for CET in the years to come. I have no doubt that if we help create a conducive environment, we can again attain such prominence. That is, we hear so much about the American dream these days. What about the Indian dream? A dream of prosperity, peace, welfare, and equality. The dream that was most eloquently articulated by Pandit Nehru in his momentous Tryst with Destiny speech at the midnight moment of our independence. when he spoke of the ending of poverty and ignorance and disease and inequality of opportunity. This Indian dream is not going to be fulfilled by sleeping on it. We must dream with our eyes open and stand on our own feet, marching firmly on the road to progress. I believe CET alums have done that. I congratulate all of you on your many accomplishments and on your continued service. And I thank you once again for the great privilege of serving as chief guest at your first Digital Galaxy Alum Meet. Thank you very much. All the very best. Jai Hind.
Thank you for those invigorating, inspiring words, Dr. Tharoor. We look forward to have you in person for our future gatherings in a future, hopefully not so far. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, and apologies for
Moving on.
exceeding the allotted time.
As you all would assume,
the music,
it is quite
musician was
difficult.
interrupted. Sorry, I'm just apologizing for exceeding my allotted time and interrupting the music, but I wanted to complete that thought.
Again, sir. Moving on. Sorry for the technical glitch. Conducting the first ever digital global meet was not an easy task. There are a lot of elements to be put together in synergy to have a smooth experience, and we owe our gratitude to many. I would now like to invite Mr. Matthew Varghese from 1986 Civil Batch, DGM Event Coordinator, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Honorable Chief Guest, Cetaa members and family, a delightful day to everyone present here. Gratitude is the healthiest of all human emotions. Let me have a few moments of yours to express it. I deem it a great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this memorable occasion of the first ever Cetaa Digital Global Meet, marking a milestone in the chronicle of Cetaa. Let's all together thank the Almighty for having kept us safe and sound while the world is still reeling under the havoc wreaked by the microorganism. Our distinguished guest, Honorable Member of the Parliament, and the world-renowned orator, Dr. Shashi Tharoor, who enthralled us with his mesmerizing words of vision and inspiration. His message of the fourth E, which is the employability, which is the most relevant and contemporary matter of the world. We have to see the unemployment of engineers in this period, especially in Kerala, and we have to transform our curriculum. The modification has to be done to the curriculum to include more industry relations and involvement. You all know that, as he said, the investment in long-term research leads to material prosperity, which is an excellent example this year when Tesla became the world's largest company, where Elon Musk invested himself in the research and findings and innovations that he could bring. The whole conservative automobile industry was transformed. And he replaced Jeff Bezos, which exactly points to what Dr. Shashi Tharoor said. The investment in research and innovation can take us to prosperity and an India without poverty. This is what should be the aim of CET. Dear sir, Cetaa UAE still remembers the cherishing memories of the eloquent and spellbinding message that you delivered at our business meet in 2009, wherein you said the engineering education in India, especially in Kerala, has to interact more with the industry. This still reverberates in our ears. The presence of Dr. Tharoor in this meeting, in his extremely busy schedule, is a reflection of his affection and commitment to CET and its alumni fraternity. On behalf of Cetaa UAE and the whole of Cetaa fraternity, I extend our wholehearted expression of gratitude to Dr. Shashi Tharoor for your inspirational message and your vision for education in India for 2021 and the years to come. Thank you, sir. Next is Dr. Gigi CV, our principal of CET. He's earnestly trying to rope in the rich, vast, and varied experience of the CET alumni in taking CET to greater heights. Thank you very much, sir. And all former principals, faculty members, both present and retired, Cetaa Parent Body Executive Committee members, the students of CET, and the Cetaa Parent Body General Secretary, Dr. Jayasri PK. We thank you all for your involvement and support in making this event a success. Our sponsors for the day. Main sponsor Tata Sons, the leading industrial house of India. Associate sponsors Cubest, CEO Prathapan 1992 Tele, APT Global Marine, Anil Abraham 1993 Mechanical, Pinnacle Interiors Joseph Charles 1993 Civil, Global X Mr. Nadim Care of Sibu Matthews, and Voltas Beko. And our support sponsors Urja by SS Jayashankar 1993 Civil, and Albawadi Metals Mrs. Ansari Care of Shamnad. We have been able to reach both Tata Sons and Voltas Beko through Vice President of Voltas, Mr. Suresh AR of 1988 Mechanical. We are really indebted to all of you for your support even during the period of the pandemic. A big thank you to all the sponsors. Without you, we could not have made this event a reality. Thank you. The enthusiasm of our very senior and prominent alumni members and well-wishers who came out with their messages to support their event is really commendable. We, Cetaa UAE, wholeheartedly appreciate the time and effort taken by the participants of the various entertainment programs for making this day an enjoyable one. I must also mention our deep sense of appreciation for the wonderful response and support from the representatives of various Cetaa chapters, branches, and disciplines around the globe who took a keen initiative in making this event a big success. Thank you all. I should specially mention Dr. Kunjaria Isaac, the first Vice Chancellor of Kerala Technological University, who helped us in organizing this event and roping in our chief guest, which was the greatest boost to this event. I would also express our sincere thanks to Messrs. Pinnacle Interiors for all the venue facilities at Dubai, and OG's Infotech for their technical and media support, and Rashmi Nair, also a CTN, who would guide us through the event. As you are all aware, an event of this magnitude cannot happen overnight. It requires meticulous planning and execution and an eye for details. We have been fortunate enough to be backed by a team of very motivated and dedicated citizens. I would like to thank every one of the Cetaa DGM team for your dedication, involvement, and commitment in making this event a reality. Thank you all. To mention a few names at least, who led this program, the Cetaa UAE EXCOM committee headed by President Rajesh P. Nair, 1979 Mechanical, General Secretary Jairaj C., 1993 Civil, Treasurer Sibu Matthews, 1994 Civil, Cetaa Galaxy DGM Organizing Committee Chairman, the Sadish Kumar, 1986 Mechanical, and heads of various committees, Program Committee Abu Sushilan, 1989 Civil, and Rajesh Nair, 1993 Industrial, Attendance Committee headed by Rudra Kumar, 1988 Civil, and Bimal Kumar, 1992, Applied Electronics, 1992 Applied Electronics, Publicity Kavita Pradeep and Kavita Sangeet, Technical Teni Isaac, Babu Said and Ion Matthew, and Harilal and Rashmi Menon, 1992 Civil, for coordination and support from Trivandrum. Thank you all. Last, but the most important, all beloved members of my Cetaa fraternity, we have currently an attendance in thousands, aggregating in all the media forms of Zoom, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. You are the most vital ones for the resounding and thundering success of this event. First ever global digital meet of Cetaa. A big thank you. Sincere apologies for if anyone I have missed out. Wishing you all a wonderful day. Thank you.